Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, whatever time this video finds you. I'm Amy, welcome. We've got 60 minutes together for Rejuvenating Flow. If you've been taking any of my classes being offered through Perennial online recently, you'll notice that the backdrop looks a little different today. I'm in the same space. I've just oriented myself differently. And I did it very intentionally because I've been noticing that I could use a little change in perspective. So I might be looking at the same things, but in a slightly different way, and trying to keep myself curious about what that might offer. We're going to play with that a little bit in our practice today. We will be working a mandala sequence around the mat. So if you're snuggled up against a wall behind you, you might want to adjust your mat just a little bit because you'll orient towards the back at one point. And that's it. If you want a strap handy to use later for the shoulders, great. If you would like a blanket or a towel underneath of your knee for some low lunge, keep that handy as well. I'm going to have you start in a child's pose this morning. So bring your toes together, your knee is wide. Let your chest come down towards the mat. And to start practice today in child's pose, I want you to take your arms out like a goal post. Allow the weight of your head to rest down heavy on the mat. As soon as you come into this shape, give yourself a big clearing breath. Deep inhale, and then just let it go. Starting to send that message of arrival. Gently start to rock your head side to side. As if you're massaging through the brow. Landing with your head centered between the shoulders, pressure between the brow. Lift your fingers and then let each one tap down a couple of times. So you feel the mat underneath of you. And then gently rest the palms. Now unhinge the jaw and shift it around side to side. Maybe open the mouth as if you were in a yawning shape. And then clench the jaw really tight and release it out. Now start to find the rhythm of your breath. Become very tuned in to the way your ribs expand against your thighs. And the back of the heart lifts when the air comes in. And where your body takes on that acceptance or softening as you breathe out. Give yourself time on both sides of the breath. Now start to stretch your right arm out in front of you and then over towards the left corner of the mat. Take your left arm off the side of the mat. Both palms are spread wide, and reorient your forehead so it's centered between the arms. Keep your hips grounding towards your heels and breathe into your right rib cage. Focus on your next exhale. And then take your time. It might take you a couple of breaths to do the same shape off to the other side. So your left arm makes its way towards the right corner of the mat. The right arm extends off to the side, and you reorient your brow so that it's between the arms. Attention into your left hip as it draws towards your heel. Expand your ribs on your breath. Notice where you feel the stretch. Come back towards neutral. Deep inhale. Again, clear it out. And then bring yourself up to a tabletop position. Neutral spine. Rather than going into cats and cows right away, have you tone the waist so that your crown and your tail pull away from one another. And then I'm going to have you spin your hands out so that your fingertips are directed towards either side of the mat and your thumbs are directed towards the top of the mat. Now here, with a long spine, a toned waist, some yeses and some nos through the head. Just notice. We're approaching some familiar shapes, but in slightly new ways, maybe to gain some new perspective. Steady through the head so the crown is away from the tail. And you can either stay here or you can take it a little further, spinning your fingertips so that they're pointed back towards your knees and your thumbs are pointed towards the outside edges of your mat. The eyes of your elbows, the inside creases of your elbows are directed forward. Once you've got this, you can play with shifting the weight a little front or back. It doesn't have to be a big movement, just to stretch and release through the wrists. And then again, some subtle yeses or nos through the head. Can you still feel the breath coming and going? One more. On the exhale, spin your hands back around. Neutral spine. And then inhale, drop your belly, lift the crown and tail. Cow pose. Exhale, press through the palms, lift behind the heart and drop your head heavy, cat pose. And move through a couple of those with your breath. Starting with just that simple front to back articulation. But be open and willing, if your body asks, for something a little more freeform to explore into that. Let's take 3 or 4 more breaths here to move. Come back to neutral spine. Step your left hand towards the center of the mat. Inhale, right arm up towards the sky. Let your gaze follow your right fingers. As you exhale, thread through. Right shoulder, right cheek to the mat. Hips can stay right over the knees. And allow your body to soften into the support. Where do you feel your breath here? Next time you inhale, unthread, reach up. Exhale, land the hand back down. Both hands under shoulders. Another 2 rounds of cat and cow. Neutral spine. Right hand's more under the face now. Left hand reaches up. Exhale, dive and thread. Left shoulder, left cheek, find support. Your left palm is open. Breathe behind the heart here. Inhale, unthread, reach up. Exhale, bring the hand down. Now you're going to take your hands a little bit wider and out beyond your shoulders so that you can roll yourself forward, knees about as wide as the mat, tops of the feet down to find this low supported plank shape, the little wider stance. Eyes of the elbows directed forward. We're going to stay here, or if your hips don't move when you try it, inhale, take your right hand, left shoulder. Exhale, place it down. Left hand, right shoulder, place it down. We're just going to do one more each side. Toned waist. And then everybody, keep your elbows by your sides. Lower your chest all the way down. Bring your feet to more hip width distance and place your elbows underneath of your shoulders for a Sphinx pose. Activate your legs, so push your toenails down, your kneecaps will brighten up off the mat, and then pull your waist in so your tailbone moves towards your feet. You'll start to feel the energy moving from feet all the way up along the spine. You can stay just like this, or again, reorient your palms so your thumbs are more pointed towards the top of the mat. Your fingers splay out, staying here, or slightly hovering the elbows to give yourself a little more space in the back bend. 3 more breaths. If your elbows are floating, bring them down. Spin your hands back forward. Exhale, take your elbows out wide, melt your heart down. Stretch your right arm off the right side of the mat so your palm is down flat. Left hand under your left shoulder, and you're going to roll onto your right side. You can let your right temple rest, and you can even kickstand your left foot behind your right knee, offering a stretch through the pec. You don't want your fingers any higher than your shoulder. We won't be here long. Let's bring ourselves back down onto the belly and switch sides. So your left arm extends off from your left shoulder, palm down. Right hand under the right shoulder. Roll up onto your left side. Again, you can kickstand that right foot if you like with a bent knee. Left temple rests on the mat. Now notice where you feel your breath. Exhale, come back down onto your belly, hands under both shoulders. We're going to inhale up through table and exhale back to a child's pose. Stay right here. Take a moment to set an intention. That intention is just a way for your mind to stay present. Inhale, roll forward to a tabletop. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Hands are spread wide. There's a nice press at the base of your pointer finger and the inside edge of your thumbs. You pedal out through the legs to start. And then once you're ready, let your body settle into this down dog. Notice the neck. Can you lengthen it out and settle your gaze back between your heels or ankles? Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Let's travel our hands towards our feet at the back of the mat. Once they come back there, bend the knees enough so that your belly and your chest rest on your thighs. Grab opposite hand, opposite elbow. And let your upper body hang heavy. Notice where the weight goes in your feet. So if you can spread your toes, give even pressure on the inside, outside, front, and back of the feet so that your upper body feels that safety and support to loosen. And the weight of your head is offering space in the spine. 2 more breaths just like this. You can release the clasp of your elbows. We'll go right into a half lift. So inhale, lengthen the spine, hands to shins or knees. Exhale, fold down. Again, half lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold down. We'll come all the way up this time. Press through your feet, take your arms wide and high. Maybe gazing up at the fingers and then arriving, hands at heart center. And then relax your arms by your sides to find mountain pose. Palms open, towards the top of the mat. The fingers are spread wide. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, release and forward fold again. One more time, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Press through your feet, bring it up tall. Hands to your heart. Mountain pose. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, dive and fold. Halfway lift to reset. Fold down, you're walking back out to a down dog. From the down dog, rolling with our breath toward a high plank. Inhale, you come up on the toes, roll the spine out until your shoulders land over your wrists, heels over your toes. Stay here, take a breath in, and then on the exhale, lift the hips back to a down dog. So nice and slow, 2 more of those. Roll it out, high plank. When you get there, feel that strength for a moment. Breathe. And then send it right back, starting with hips. Chest towards your thighs, ground down. Third time, we'll roll out. This time, we'll stay right here. Breathe. Always have the option to come down to knees. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Flip the feet with your hands under your shoulders. Peel the chest up, cobra. Exhale, soften down. Curl your toes, coming through a tabletop or a high plank if you prefer. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Step your feet close together. Inhale, send your right leg up to the sky. As you exhale, stack your right hip on top of the left, opening it up. Keep your shoulders level and heart moving towards your left thigh. Now level off the hips, stretch your right leg back, breathe in. As you exhale, again, roll forward, this time pulling your knee to your nose and step your foot through. Drop down onto the back knee. You can flip the toenail side of your left foot down. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bring the fingertips back down. Inhale, pull the hips back, straighten your right leg, right toes towards your face. Stay for the exhale. Roll forward. Inhale, again, sweep the arms up. Right away, exhale, bring your hands down. It takes just a little engagement in the core. Exhale, pull your hips back, straighten through your right leg. Attention on that right hip, keep nudging it back. Roll forward again into that lunge. This time, curl your back toes, come up off the back knee, and step your left foot to the top of the mat to find a fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Press through your feet, root to rise. Reach up tall. Hands to your heart. And then arms by your sides. Feet hip-width distance apart. Buoyant through the legs. We're just going to start to sway side to side. Let your arms kind of flop. Really relaxed spinal twist. Keep doing this for another breath or so. And then naturally let it slow. Back into Tadasana. Spread your fingers wide, eyes closed. Just scan the body. Notice if there's energy moving. I can already feel that tingle in my fingers. Inhale, sweep up, arms reach. On the way down, open your mouth, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down. You're stepping back to a high plank. We'll hold right here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower yourself halfway or all the way down. Flip the feet, lift the heart. Cobra or upward facing dog. And then as you breathe out, lift the hips. downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Step the feet close. Even pressure both hands. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Good time to roll through the ankle if you like. Really press through the hands. Let your right heel be heavy. Now square off the hips, stretch the left leg back. As you exhale, roll forward, pulling your knee to your nose, and step the foot through. Drop down onto the back knee. Toenail side of your right foot can come down. Steady yourself, and then inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, pull your hips back, straighten your left leg. Stay for the exhale. Roll forward. On the inhale, sweep the arms up. There's a little back bend maybe. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, pull back, straighten the left leg. Roll forward to the lunge. Tense your fingers, come up off of your right knee, and step your right foot to the top of the mat. Stepping feet close, half lift, fold down. We're not going to lock the knees. Push through the feet, rise up, reach up, hands stay overhead. Interlace fingers, point your fingers to the sky. Pressing down through the feet. Can you reach your crown towards your fingertips, and then your shoulders plug back down? Waist engages. Now even pressure through both feet. On the exhale, take a little arc to the left. Move your ribs to the right. Mindful not to collapse into that left side body. One more breath. Come back to center. Again, relax the shoulders down the back. Move the crown towards the fingers. Even pressure through the feet. We're not locking through the legs. You push down as you arc, coming up and out of the waist. Breathing some space into your left side body. Back to center. Hands to your heart. Arms by your sides, feet hip width distance. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, release and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place your hands down, stepping back, high plank. We'll move through a flow. Always optional to skip. Lifting hard on the inhale, lifting hips up and back on the exhale. Inhale, rise on your toes, let your knees soften and look towards the top of the mat. As you exhale, you can lightly step or hop forward to your fold. Halfway lift, exhale, release. Root to rise, reach up. We'll go right back down again, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fingertips down. Step your left foot back. Spin the left heel down. Virabhadrasana 1. 2 footprints on the mat as you rise up. Front knee over the ankle. Both hips oriented forward. And a little softness in that back knee to give you strength and power to sink down into the front. Now you can stay like this with your arms extended overhead. Pinkies spiral towards one another, or you can hook your thumbs so your palms are open towards the front of the mat, and then pull the elbows out wide to find a little lift through the sternum. Try not to let your waist go soft. You want the belly pulling in to support your low back. Lift through the chest. If you have that thumb hook, go ahead and soften it. Exhale, open warrior 2. So you widen out your stance, front knee over the front ankle, back foot almost parallel to the short edge of the mat, arms extended front to back. Even though you're strong and steady, there's some ease somewhere in this pose. Flip your forward palm, reach forward just slightly, then tip up and back. Keep sinking in your front knee. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to that lunge shape. Step your left foot to the top of the mat again. Toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Sink your hips down, lift up through the heart, Utkatasana. Biceps by the ears, shoulders away from the ears, and hips pulling towards the back edge of the mat. Light on your toes, weight more towards the heels, lift the heart just a little bit. Inhale, splash up tall. Exhale, dive and fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fingertips down. We're going to step the right foot back and come right into that Virabhadrasana series on this side. So set your feet and then rise, warrior one. Take your awareness within. Notice where you feel this physically, where your mind wants to go, and how it makes you feel emotionally. You can keep your arms extended with pinky spiraled in, or you can hook your thumbs, opening your palms forward, letting your elbows splay out wide, lifting through the chest. Tapping into both strength and steadiness. Neutral spine, unhooking the thumbs if you did that, and then open warrior two. Keep nudging your front knee towards your pinky toe. Then reach your left palm forward, tip up and back. Cartwheel your hands down. Fingertip lunge. Step your right foot to the top of the mat to fold. One more time, sink your hips down. Lift up through your heart, Utkatasana. Inhale, splash up tall. Exhale, dive and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Again, stepping, or maybe you jump back and flow it out, or skip it all together. We meet in down dog. In your down dog, take 3 steady breaths. Inhale, rise on the toes, soften the knees, look forward. Exhale, step or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, reach up. Catch that little back bend at the top. Neutral, and then dive and fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fingertips down. We're stepping the left foot back again. Drop down onto your left knee. This time, keep your toes curled under. And I want you to check in. Front knee over the ankle. So this is where you might want to have something underneath your back knee. Imagine your right heel pulling toward the back of the mat and your left quad nudging forward to give you some steadiness. Now rise up. Arms extend overhead. So I'm in a boxy lunge. I'm not in something sinking. I want everything stacked in the spine. Okay. Attention into the hips, arms extended overhead, shoulders relaxed. Start to pull your waist in and then begin to pitch the crown forward. So it's like you're looking over your front knee. Hold right here. Breathe in. As you exhale, sweep your hands toward the back of the mat. Come up off of your back knee. Inhale, drop the knee down, extend your arms overhead again. So nothing in the torso moves. Breathe in. Exhale, sweep the hands back, push out through your left heel. Again, drop the knee down, arms reach overhead. Exhale, come into that crescent lunge variation with your hands extended behind you. Take a breath in, let it out, and then inhale, arms up, regular crescent lunge. Exhale, sweep the hands back. We're going into airplane pose. Lift up through the heel, lift up through the heart. Breathe. Now soften through your right leg. Land your left toes at the back of the mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Flip your forward palm, tip up and back. Extended side angle prep. Inhale through 2, bring your forearm down to your thigh and sweep your left arm up overhead, opening your chest toward the left side of the mat. Lever the fingers down on that right arm slightly. Rise back up, straighten through your leg. Pivot all your toes towards the left edge of the mat. Arms up overhead, pull your heels in one click. Exhale, sink down. Keep nudging your knees towards the outside edges of your feet. Breathe. Stand up, stretch your arms out. Spin your right leg, right foot, so that the heel's toward the back of the mat. Left toes point towards the back edge of the mat. We're going to the other side. Warrior 2. I've done this about 10 times and I thought, ooh, I better not mess it up. Flip your forward palm, tip up and back. Changing your perspective right through 2, extended side angle prep. Feeling out that second side, strong legs. Rise back up, pivot all your toes towards the left edge of the mat, palms open, lift up through the chest. Wide leg fold, come down. Take 3 breaths in the wide leg fold. Inhale, half lift. Walk your hands around to the back of the mat, which is now going to become the front of the mat. Drop down onto your right knee. You can switch and put that towel or blanket underneath of your right knee. Boxey Low Lunge. Keep your right toes curled under and then rise up. Now pull the waist in. You're going to keep nudging that left hip back as you project forward through the torso, holding here. Exhale, sweep your hands toward the back of the mat. Come up off your right knee, push out through your right heel. Drop the knee down, extend arms overhead again, breathe in. Exhale, hands back, come up off the back heel. One more time. Hold here, breathe in and out. And then inhale, both arms up. Exhale, sweep your hands back, coming into airplane, second side, facing towards the back of the mat. Lift up through the heel, lift up through the heart, and breathe. Rise to stand, 2 feet together. So now you're facing at the back of the mat, hands at your heart, and then arms by your sides. Blink the eyes closed. Orienting yourself in a new way. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, dive and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place your hands down. You're going to step back, high plank, and flow. Downward facing dog. And child's. Stay here, breathe. Checking in with that place where we started. If you need it, take a clearing breath. We're going back to downward facing dog. From down dog, roll yourself out to a high plank. You're going to drop to your left forearm, elbow underneath the shoulder, hands spread out wide. Outside edge of your left foot, right arm up to the sky. Forearm side plank. Breathe. Second side, right elbow underneath your right shoulder, outside edge of the right foot, left arm to the sky. Left hand down, right hand down. Choice to flow come into down dog, or to go back into a child's pose. Inhale from down dog, rise onto the toes, soften the knees, look forward, exhale, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press through your feet, root to rise. Hands to your heart, breathe out. From here, step your left foot back about 3 feet. You're going to angle your left toes off the edge of the mat and then bring your hands behind your back. So you're going to make kind of a diamond shape right at your sacrum, elbows out wide. Your right toes are oriented forward and your hips are oriented forward. Now imagine your low back pressing into the backs of your palms. Lift up through your chest. As you exhale, pull the right hip back and bow forward over your leg. Keep breathing into the backs of your hands. Relax your head. You can stay with your hands as they are, or you can bring the fingertips down. I want you to explore the edge of your comfort in the back of your right leg. Okay, whether your fingertips are on the mat or they're at your low back, you're going to take a half lift in the spine to turn on your core and then extend both arms out in front of you, biceps by the ears, and you have to have a little softness in that right leg. You're going to come up off of your left heel, warrior 3. Crescent lunge, land your left toes at the back. If you wobble like me, that's okay. Arms overhead. Inhale, and then on the exhale, left hand forward, right hand back, upright twist. Keep nudging your right hip back in space. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, warrior 2. So you're working around the other side of the mat now. Warrior 2. Flip your forward palm, tip up and back. Push through that front leg, stretch it out long, setting up for triangle pose. Pull your right fingers forward, your left hips back, and tip in. You have choices. You could take a half bind here. You can work your core, stretching your fingers out. Be willing to explore something familiar in a new way. Now everybody rise up. Pivot all of your toes towards the right edge of the mat. Pull your heels in, arms overhead, back into that horse pose. Sink. Breathe. Sink a little deeper. Can we smile while we do it? Push through your feet, stand up tall. We're pivoting to take that triangle shape towards the top of the mat. So we've got 2 straight legs. Flip your forward palm, tip up and back. Reverse the triangle first. And then reach out over your left toes. Pull your hips back and tip in. Whatever variation you like. Rise up, all 10 toes towards the edge of the mat again. Palms open and interlace behind the back. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Lift up through the chest. Stay here as long as you like. When you're ready, bow forward. Unclasp the hands, release them down under you. Take a yes and a no through the head. Just relax, shake it out. Relax through the shoulders. A half lift, and then walk your hands around back to the top of the mat. You're going to step your back foot up to the top of the mat to find a fold. Half lift, fold down. Press through your feet, root to rise, reach up. Utkatasana, sit down and back. Hands to your heart. Crown is moving forward. You're going to hook your right elbow outside your left knee. Take a twist. Keep the crown moving forward. Untwist. Keep your hips low. Breathe. We're going right into the other side. Twist. Keep nudging left hip back in space. Back to center. Inhale, stand up tall, splash back. Exhale, hands to your heart and arms by your sides. So we're going to take that pyramid pose, second side. So this time you step the right foot back. Yes. Make the diamond shape. Bring it to the small of the back. Lift up through the chest, send your breath right to the small of the back. Then keep pressing into that as you bring the heart forward. Pressing into it, drawing your left hip back in space. And then maybe you relax the fingers down, or maybe you keep them at the small of the back. But you're really folding into your depth, rooting through the base of your big toe mound on that front foot, and working length through the spine and the leg. Take another breath. Whether your fingertips are at the small of your back or underneath of your shoulders, take a half lift to turn on the core. This is a tough transition. Stretch your arms out in front of you, biceps hugging the ears, palms facing one another. You cannot lock down in that front knee. You slowly come up off the back heel and lift your back foot, warrior 3. Land your floating leg at the back of the mat. Crescent lunge. Exhale, upright twist. Right hand forward, left hand back. Inhale, both arms float up overhead. This time on the exhale, bring your hands down. You're stepping back to a plank and a flow. From here, down dog, toes together, knees wide, child's pose. Remembering our intentions, keeping our presence of mind in our bodies with our breath. Clear it out. Roll forward. I'm going to give you some options. We're going to come into either a forearm plank, revisiting that side plank if you prefer, or coming down onto the forearms. Elbows right underneath the shoulders, hands spread out wide, equal distance between elbows and wrists, and then lifting the hips, coming into Dolphin Pose. If you're in Dolphin Pose, your gaze is between your elbows and you walk the feet in. Keep pulling the waist in to drive your heart towards your thighs. You can have the knees slightly bent. Now, if balancing on your forearms or on your head is in your practice and you want to go there safely, do so. Or you can stay just like this and play with lifting one leg and the other. Maybe doing it a couple times, or maybe tapping your chin between your thumbs. A little bit of a power move, but extremely rejuvenating. Take a couple more breaths. Trust the strength of your body and lift behind the heart. Now take your knees out wide, child's pose. Again, you can splay the elbows out if you want to release through the shoulders. Roll yourself up to tabletop. Let's take a couple rounds of cow and cat. Noticing what we feel here that might be different than when we started. Neutral spine. One more wrist release. I want you to flip open so that the backs of your hands are on the mat. Your fingertips are pointed towards your knees. And then rocking the weight just a little bit front to back. Flip it back around. Drop your hips to one side and swing your legs around in front of you. Let's stretch our legs out long. Hands right by your hips to lift your seat and slide your seat back just slightly so you get that nice length from your tail to your crown and a little forward tilt into the sacrum. Turn your legs on, so curl your toes back towards your face. Arms resting by your sides, tracking the elbows back. Hugging everything in close, staff pose. Even long through the back of the neck. So your gaze is at your toes. So the crown is nice and tall now. Draw your shoulders down. Keep this length. Inhale, float both arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Come out just slightly on your inhale. Back into the fold on the exhale. You can ride that a couple of breaths coming out and drawing down. Feel for length in the low spine, all the way up through the top of the head. One more breath. Roll yourself up. So still facing the top of the mat. Put a flex into your left foot and stack your left knee on top of your right. So your right leg is still going to be stretched out in front of you, but you've got your left knee stacked on top of the right and a flex into that left foot. Tense your your left hand behind you, reach up through the right hand, and then on the exhale, right hand outside the thigh. Twist. Exhale, bring yourself out. Right hand behind you, left hand to the inside arch of that left foot for a counter twist. And then back to neutral. Now you can keep your right leg extended out if you feel that this is an opening into your hips as is. If you want to take it deeper, put a bend into your right knee. Both knees are stacked. Both feet are flexed and both sits bones are rooted. You can stay just like this, or again, keep the right leg stretched out. Arms to either side. We're going to flip right thumb down, bringing it behind the back so our palm is open. Left hand up towards the sky, bending the elbow, reaching back. This is where that strap might come in handy as you find that bind. You want to hug arms in close. You want your sits bones rooted. Breathe. Let's go ahead and release. Bottom arm first and then top. Use your hands to untangle your legs, placing both feet on the mat. Rock back onto your hands and windshield wiper your knees side to side. Pause, and then round in, dropping your head down, and you can just hug your elbows around your kneecaps, round through the back of the heart. Lengthen back up, stretch your left leg out. A flex into your right foot, stacking your right knee on top of your left. Nice and tall. Right hand tense behind you. The left arm reaches up. And we twist. Exhale, bring it out. Left hand tented behind you. Right hand reaches for the arch of the right foot, or maybe it's the ankle today. Nice and tall, and we counter stretch. And then back towards center. Again, you can keep the left leg extended out, or you can roll to the side, bending your left knee, and then stacking knees, both feet bent, both knees bent, both feet flexed. Nice and tall. Setting up for that second side, arms stretch out. You flip your left thumb down, bring it behind your back, palm open, right arm up, reaching back, maybe using a strap. If you make that connection or that bind, you might even just grab a hold of your shirt. Then we track everything towards the midline and elongate. Slowly release. Use your hands to unstack the legs. Rocking back on the palms again, just side to side. You might even pause with just your knees falling into the midline for a moment. And then roll it forward, hugging the knees, dropping the head, rounding through the back of the heart. Setting yourself up to recline down. Keep your feet grounded. Stretch your arms out and then slowly start to roll yourself down. And once you come down onto your back, reach your arms overhead and stretch out through your legs. Big breath in and a grounding breath out. Draw your knees into the chest again. A little side to side. Roll through the ankles if you like. And then with your feet about hip width distance, your knees bent, you're gonna land your feet flat on the mat, setting up for 3 passes at a back bend. You can take this as a wheel, bridge, a combination. You could even use some support if you like underneath and stay in it for a longer, more restorative hold. If you set your feet up, lift your toes, press down into the base of your big toe mounds. Imagine the knees driving forward, arms by your sides. Inhale, from your tail, roll the spine up. You can clasp your hands, pressing through the feet, drive the knees forward, lift up through the chest. Your gaze should be across your belly so you can see it rise and fall with your breath. Unclasp your hands, roll yourself down. Pause with your knees collapsed in towards the midline for a moment. Second pass, set it up. Root through the base of the toes, drive the knees forward towards the toes, roll the spine up. Clasp hands again if you like. You're going to do robot arms where your palms are framing your hips, triceps pushing down. Or if you want to go into wheel, it's yours to take. Glutes are soft. Back of the neck is long, so we're not collapsing in the throat. Release and roll down. Again, just let your knees fall into the midline. You can rest your hands on your heart and your belly. Okay, third and final pass. Let this be the fullest expression. So you're setting up bridge, same thing. You're setting up wheel, hands come back by your shoulders, the heels of the hands pressing towards the top of the mat. Root through the base of your big toes without putting pressure on the top of the head and into the neck. On your inhale, lift everything up. If you're in wheel, shoulders over the wrists. Keep hugging knees towards the midline, lifting through the chest. And then slowly, without crunching into the neck, bring yourself down. Again, knees fall into the midline for just a moment. Feet nice and wide. Let's take it into one more super easy supine twist. So keep your feet out wide. Let your arms drop to either side. And with your feet just as they are, let your knees fall off to one side. Drop your gaze to the opposite side. Recognize that these unwinding parts of practice deserve equal attention as the more active places. You can pass through center, side to side if you like a couple of times. On your way to that final easy twist in the opposite direction, be curious about what is going on in the body right now. How you feel mentally, emotionally. How your breath is moving around in your body. Back towards center. Knees into the chest. I'm going to have you bring them a little wider. So it's kind of like how we were doing in seated, where your knees are hooked into the crooks of your elbows. Give them a nice squeeze. And then attention into your lumbar. Push the tail down to neutralize the spine. This should feel pretty good. Now hug knees in close, hug chin in close. Everything into that little ball. Big, grateful breath. Fill up your body. And then totally surrender. Let everything just drop heavy onto the mat. No control in the breath. No need to do. Full permission to just be exactly as you are. I invite you to take all the time and space that you need and deserve to fully integrate your practice today. When it's time for you to move on, please move slowly and carefully. As you transition from rest to wake, bring with you everything that you need from your practice. Take it with you off of your mat and into the rest of your day. Before you move on, take time for gratitude. Thank yourself. Thank your body. Take time to find gratitude for the people and the circumstances in your life that support you in exploring the best version of you. I want you to know that I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I am extremely grateful that I get to do this. So thank you. I bow to you all with a smile on my face and a full, humble heart. I acknowledge the light and the love that's in me, sees and honors the light and the love that's in each of you. Namaste.